This video is going to cover formatting cells. We're going to change the font size and font color, apply bold, italics, and underline, change fill color, change cell alignment, wrap text, change cell orientation, merge cells, indent cell content, apply cell styles, and add borders to an Excel worksheet. Let's get started. We're going to take a look at using the font group and the alignment group that's located off of the Home tab, and we're going to use these two groups to enhance our worksheet. The first thing I'm going to do is click on cell A1. Notice our formula bar. I can see the entire contents of cell A1 in the formula bar. What this means is if I was trying to format it and I selected B1, if it's not in the formula bar, we would not be able to format it. So again, going back to cell A1, the first thing we can change is the look of it by changing its font. We have live preview going on, so you can see it changing in the back a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and just pick Baskerville Boldface. The next thing, right next to it, we have our font size. That's measured in points. 72 points equals an inch high font. Again, we have the live preview, and we can change our font size. We can also change the color of our font. And that's in the bottom corner here. You see the A with the blue line. I drop down, and I can make some color choices if I wanted to. Clicking on Food Nutrition Chart, I can go ahead and make that bold and italic. I'm going to come over to High Fat Food. We can also underline, so I'm going to drop down and choose a double underline. I'm going to select the range A4 through G4, change the font color. I'm going to make them bold. And we'll give them a fill color. And so again, in the font group, you see the bucket, drop down. You have some choices. I love the live preview. You just take a minute to select something that you think looks nice. And so that's how you apply a fill color. The next thing let's take a look at is cell alignment. I'm going to just for the beginning purpose of this, just concentrate on cell B4, the word food. By default, when we type in a cell, text is always on the left side of the cell. Numbers you're going to notice where calories are, for instance. Numbers will always align by default on the right-hand side of the cell. We can always change that. So again, concentrating back here in cell B4, it's on the bottom of the cell. If I wanted to, I could top align it. I could put it in the center, or again, back to the bottom. So those are vertically, top, center, bottom. And then I have horizontal, which it's left right now, horizontal center, and then the horizontal to the right. If I wanted it to be in the middle of my cell, I'm going to pick the middle, align, and the center together. Again, the default over to the left and on the bottom of the cell. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and center align all of these in the middle of the cell. Notice when I click on cell A1, maybe I want to center this. When I do this, boy, you don't even see the whole thing. That's because the cell is not wide enough to show you the entire content. So we never, we never center a cell if it's wider than the cell itself. So let me take that back to left align. And I would like to center it across my worksheet. So I'm going to do what's called a merge and center. Selecting A1 through G1. And so whatever I have selected, that's where I want to center it. That's the area. So I'm going to change over to the alignment group. I see merge and center. Centers it across my selected area. I'm going to select A5 through A8. I'm going to go ahead and merge. We have grains next. I'm going to go ahead and merge. So that's A9 through A17. Merge cheese, dairy, fruit, the poultry, and my vegetables, just to give the worksheet a different look. So you now know how. Next, I'm going to show you how to change cell orientation, and that's to have your text display from the bottom to the top of the cell or have it slant. And so here's how you do that. We're going to the alignment group. You see the slanted AB. I drop down. I could angle it counterclockwise or clockwise. I could have vertical text. I could rotate text up, rotate text down. So I think I like the rotate text up. And I'd like this in the center. And I'm going to do the same for the grains. And the cheese. Okay, so you know how to change the orientation of a cell to give it another effect. I'm going to take a minute to go ahead and format the fill color. Okay, you get the idea. I'm looking at column B, and I'd like to size this column down a little bit. We've done that before, so I'm going to just drag it in. And as I'm doing that, you can notice that I no longer am able to read the contents in this column. So the next thing I'd like to share with you is how to wrap text. You select the cells that you'd like to wrap text. And in the alignment group, you see wrap text. And so if you need to tighten things up, that's an option for you, the wrap text. We can see on our worksheet our grid that shows us our outline of our cells, the columns and the rows, but this by default does not print. Let me show you that. Going to the File tab, I'm going to go to Print, and you can see that we have no borders, no grid lines. So I'm going to go back, and to enhance our worksheet, we can add borders to certain areas or specific areas wherever we want to enhance our worksheet. So to add borders to your worksheet, you select the cell range that you want to apply borders to. So I'll just show you a little bit right now. So I'm going to select the range that really comes into view here. Going back to my font group, I have borders, and I have some predefined borders. So around my selection, I could choose all borders. Very quickly, let me show you what that looks like. Again, I didn't do the whole sheet, but you're getting the idea. And so you can apply borders to your worksheet. I'm going to go ahead and click undo there. With this still selected, I have other options. So I can just do an outside border. a thick top and bottom border, but it's in direct relation to what I have selected. So let me reselect. So if I select the area here, I could say I want a right border. And you can see it's going to add the border. If I select this range like this, it's going to apply them to that area. So again, direct relation to where the drills that I have selected. I'm going to go ahead and select this range, and I'm now going to select to choose no border. So again, playing around here, I can always go back to no borders. What I think might enhance this is just maybe a thick line between my beef and my grains and my other ones. So again, I'm going to select the range, go to my borders, and I think I'd like a thick bottom border here. See what that looks like. I'm going to select my next area, grains. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. There's one last thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to jump over here to the eyeglass sales. Doesn't look pretty at all, but I want to share with you how to indent text. And so I have glasses here, so it might read better if I just select A5 through A8 and just increase the indent. Then under reading glasses, I can do the same, and then under sunglasses. Another reason to indent text is when you have an area where you have numbers which are right aligned, and then right next to it you have some text which is left aligned. So select the range of cells, and again you can increase the indent. Just give it a little more readability. So that is it. I hope this helps. Happy formatting.